Hello there. I didn't do it. Whatever it is you're eyeballing me for, I'm not the one the one who did it. Wait, did I? Hope this works. Bottoms up, mate. I think it's working. Indubitably. Plethora. Effulgent. There it is. Now I should be able to brew up anything I need in no time. As agreed, here's your payment. You're a real lifesaver. Not sure if I'll ever quite remember who I am, where I'm from. Probably for the best. Didn't like that fellow. Me. I like to wander. Most in Yolven do. It's a crossroads, really. The place between where you are and wherever you mean to be. A word of warning. Avoid the southern road into Webwood. Don't mind me, I'm just making some alchemy. With reagents. And things.
The contracts are listed on the board by the... Oh, yes, from Overgrown Thicket, was it? Normally that sort of thing is beneath even contract work. But these days, if the payer has enough coin to spare and is insistent enough, we put it on the board. On with you.
I was told of ancient days when wise priestess Beala Tirin to goddess Lyria spoke. The people, remembering all after war, called for Durek's fate. "Slay them, the foul and wretched tribe," said Dokalfar. "Spare them, the poor and miserable beasts," cried Losalfar. Their minds, depraved and hatred-poisoned, twisted. Alfar struck Alfar over drink, at feast, when all else is merry, when peace reigns in havens. Hateful, I am told, were cousins towards each other. From the cold-blessed Ferial, Beala Tirin, with a head to seek Lyria's guidance, set forth on a pilgrimage.
I say, isn't there anything we can do about all this uncivilization in these lands? We have magic and weapons. Should be easy work. But you could fit the bill. I'm part of an expedition to the teeth of Naros, and we need another to come with us on the journey. The Cranwins helped found the Order of the Ash. Our caliber of spells is matched only by our fortitude, as I'm sure you've heard. An ominous name. Naros is a troll god. If this is a place trolls believe to be hallowed ground, then what are we getting ourselves into? The Varani woman? Helix seems to respect her, but I have a feeling she'll cheat the lot of us before this is through. This is rather base work for one of my stature, but if rumors of this southern land are true, then even among the Cranwins I'll be reputed. Leave me. Yes, we're going to need another before we can get underway. And you're the only soul I've seen here that seemed like they could sport clean breeches. It's as I said, we're going to the unexplored land south of Dalentarth. They're said to house unimaginable wealth. Our coffers will thank us when we get there. If you need more information, find our camp near Ettenmere and speak to our leader, Helic.
Lord Ferrara, valiant warrior, destroyer of Infaminir, Duke of the Hylarans, protector of the Ring of Chiozai, discoverer of the island of Meropis, were he only to meet a better end.
There ain't no fish today, stranger. It's best you look elsewhere. Ugh, can't even look a fish in the face anymore. Not ever since I met that nymph. I can remember when I first saw her, on the cliff to the south, overlooking Ettenmere. I saw that watery maiden and I fell in love with her. I've outlived my Imelda. My nephew Thaddeus up and left for Dyden Hill for want of never seeing me again. I had a chance of ending loneliness, but it was taken from me. The beasts of the wild scared her off. We were to wed by my pier, but I ain't seen her for days now. I'd searched, but the monsters will rip me to shreds. I bet you could indeed, but that's only half of what's needed. You must also find my bride-to-be. Then the wedding will be upon us. I've got to find the ring. I need to find my bear mask. I need to prepare. You best start by the pier. If she's not there, keep heading south. She's bound to be somewhere. Go on now. I will ready myself for the wedding and then catch up to you. I was to meet her at the old pier, but the gentle creature got scared by the monsters, no doubt. I first laid eyes on her from the cliff overlooking the lake to the south. I bet if you head south, you'll still find her. Well, I've seen a few fine women in my day. Even met a fey woman in Gorehart long ago. But that nymph, she's something else. Her skin's lustre, her heaving prow and ample stern. Except for the fishy parts, I mean. But even so, I've fished this lake enough that the form is, pleasingly familiar. I've been a fisherman on these shores since I could cast a net. Even the Etten leave me be. Used to be this was Holmes Lake. But I lost my wife Imelda to fever and my nephew abandoned me to go to Dyden Hill. And now I'm just a man content to die in the house my family built here years ago. They're hostile enough normally, but of late it seems like a couple have become struck with divine inspiration. Kind that makes the Etten go to war. If they keep this up, we might have an Etten war party on our hands. If only someone might take care of those shamans first. Not much here anymore besides the Etten and myself. We get the occasional traveller, but it's not often. Please, find my nymph.
Only one head, by the mercy of the gods. I thought my time had come at last. Fate does not seem to hold much stock in my expedition, but it leaves me alive to see its utter failure through to the end. Only one head, by the mercy. Fate does not. Only one head, by the mercy of the god. Fate does not seem to hold much stock in my expedition, but it leaves me alive to see its utter failure through to the end. I was leading an expedition to recover a pair of Arathi artifacts, known only as Shine and Shadow. I've spent the last decade researching them. Texts say the artifacts are powerful, but what they can do is never explicitly stated. Regardless, the Templars feel it best to place such items under their guard. But the Etten have hit us hard. And it's said that the artifacts are guarded in Delac by an ancient powerful shaman of their kind. I'm at a loss for what to do. I have not had such good news in some time. My research indicates that the artifacts are somewhere in Delac. It seems they're now a trophy of the Etten. I can promise you this much. Though my expedition was underprepared, it was not underfinanced. A large reward waits for one who finds the artifacts. My research has tracked them to Delac. There is talk of an ancient guardian. From the looks of this place, it's likely some Etten. I'm here from Odessa on business. The rest of my expedition was wiped out by the Etten. Can't say I know all that much about the old man, other than he's a fisherman here in Ettenmere. He's quite a hospitable man, though. He let me stay here without much question. Their impudence seems tied to their devotion. From what I can tell, a small number of prominent shamans are rallying them. If someone had a head on their shoulders and a blade, then toppling those shaman would help pacify the area. I came here strictly for research purposes. This is not a place many people would come on their own accord. They're impudent. If someone had a head on their
There she is, my lovely bride. I am all dressed and prepared for our wedding. Thank you, stranger. Bless you. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to seal my bond with a ring and a kiss. Any last words for a crusty bachelor? My nymph! She just fouled that disgusting etching with a glance. Beauty kills even the beast, so they say. Did you not see her wiggle her way to the cliff overlooking the lake? It's where we first met, you know. A grand spot for our union. Well, friend, if there's nothing else, I'm off. You're welcome to witness the event if you care to. Wait a moment. That's no nymph. That's not the graceful creature I fell in love with. You were good enough to go along with an old man's wishes. Might I ask one more of you? I want you to kill that beast, to preserve the memory of my bride. And I'll see you rewarded if you do. You've seen the chaos and destruction the thing has caused. It's a demon of the waters. Not only that, but, to think I ever loved that thing. It's shameful. Please, it burdens my old heart. I'll reward you for the work. I promise you that much. Just see it gone. I'd rather not talk about it, stranger. My personal failings tend to make me upset. Farewell.
So brief his term among our court, so virile in his living. He is fervor embodied, he is vitality. He rescued Princess Luna to take as his own. King of Strand, Prince of Passion.
That's the end of that, then. I'm sorry for roping you into such a task, stranger. It's just... you see enough sadness in your life, and you see chances for happiness wherever you look. Now for your reward. Take my wedding ring. Pissed on Imelda's memory long enough. Taken. It ain't much. Just a small charm that she had when we were wed. When fever took her, I mounted it on her grave. And then one of those two-headed bastards pried it off. Carried it to the lake, giggling like a pair of fools. Wouldn't dare follow the beasts there. But if you... well, you've helped me enough. Thank you. You're a kind soul indeed. The Etin took to the shore as soon as I saw him. He's somewhere on the lake's edge, I'm sure of it. One of those Etin took it and headed south, along the shore. He's somewhere on this lake. I know that much. I've been a fisherman on these shores since I could cast a net. Even the Etin used to be this was the Holmes lake, and now I'm just an old man content. They're hostile enough. If they keep this up, we might have an Etin war party. Not much here anymore besides the Etin and myself.
Well, look at what we have here. Truthfully, I never expected to see another civilized soul out here in Etenmere. Something about the giant hairy monsters must keep people away. Good to meet you. The name is Ray Kildine, purveyor of fine sage-crafting goods and friend to the House of Ballads. I don't call any one village or city home. No, I'm a wanderer by nature, a merchant by trade. Most people just assume it's because I'm a restless spirit. Actually, it's because my wife wants me dead. If the two of you ever meet, don't tell her you found me. Please. She's terrifying. I've been out here for weeks. Getting in is the easy part. It's getting back out that will get you killed. Lucky for me, Wenson and his friends have their oratory out here. Whatever an oratory is. They've never let me inside. Apparently he's a legendary knight of the House of Ballads, its ruler. But I've never seen him slay anything. He doesn't even own a crown. Sure, Wenson and me are close friends, like brothers. And he doesn't mind at all if I camp outside the oratory here. Just so long as I clean up my mess. It's a mystery to me. Fae come and go, but none of them ever pay me much mind. A while back, one of them dropped something in passing. They called it a cairn. I had it in my possession for one glorious night, before they pried it from my grip. Magic, I suppose. They don't seem to do much of anything on their own. I heard Wenson mention something about an echo stone, but I don't know what that is. Sounds like trouble to me.
Welcome, Lady Sagril. May I congratulate you on your victory in Gorguath. I am Queen Belmaid, love of King Wenson and Grand Lady of the House of Ballads. I do not speak of my exploits, unless to warn against the pride that engulfs all who celebrate the telling. We are symbols of a greater truth, not the truth itself. I am best known for my infiltration of the Maid of Windermere's kingdom beyond the hills. It was I who shattered her ambitions to topple the Summer Court. This realm is at the mercy of cycles, of seasons, and the role of the Fae is no different. The telling is the ongoing story in which we all play an integral part. He represents all that is pure and just in the Summer Court. He is the vibrancy of life, what the Winter Court has always sought to darken with its decaying ways. The Fae of the East are not our enemies. We count them among our kind. At least we did. Times change. That is such a mortal thing to say. It is difficult to see from its current condition, but the oratory was once the finest venue for performances of the Summer Court canon. The voices still linger. We regaled many a king under the oratory's grand canopy. But those seasons have passed. Our time has passed. It is likely that you do not understand our need for continuity, our desire to repeat the past for the good of the coming future. What then is your drive to create a bloodline? There is no difference. The House of Ballads is our family tree. It is the sire we look to for wisdom. She is our nemesis. The villain we in the House of Ballads are destined to thwart through all the seasons of the telling. If there is trouble, the maid is at its origin. Hello, I'm Lady Olaine. What do I call you? I prefer names to titles. Sometimes we here at the House of Ballads can get a little caught up in the veneration. Of course, you're Sagril now, as it should be. Welcome. Call me Olaine. The others will never call me anything but Lady Olaine, Knight of the Golden Knot, Destroyer of Sreng, and Keeper of the Fenian Cycle. I won a seat in the House of Ballads many seasons ago. Back then I was lost, and I desired a new telling, one with meaning. Your kind might call it a purpose. He's an incredible creature, unique in every way. No other Fae hero has grasped the imagination of our people like he has. Mortals have kingdoms and tribes and nations. We Fae are connected to one another by a deeper understanding, a magic from which we've all been born. The Court of Summer is a circle of elders that, for lack of a better word, governs our kind. It may seem silly to outsiders, but the Court of Enchantments has become very meaningful to the Fae of the Summer Court. Our songs live on despite the decline in magic. No one knows why it is happening. Not even Hallam the White. Yet every day we can feel it. Like a shiver of coming autumn. A deadly frost on the morning air. I believe it is due to what the Tuatha have wrought with their flames of war. The world burns. None of us can escape the cleansing fire. I have not met one myself. But there is word that Tuatha have been glimpsed in the shadows of western Dalantarth. Our kind survives by the grace of nature, and there is nothing natural about the Tuatha. When the roots are poisoned, the fruit spoils on the vine. Faemor was no friend to his kind even before he was cursed. It is good that Ferrara's lot in the telling is to end the fiend's days. He deserves it.
When Hallam told me a mortal had taken the open seat, I did not believe him. But here you stand before me. Impressive. It is a pity about Sagril, a grand hero. But there's not time to raise the king's token in his honor. We need every hand carrying a sword for the coming battle. We've come to aid Sir Ferrara, our brother in the Court of Enchantments. It is time for his telling of the Ballad of Bloody Bones. Ferrara went in pursuit of his nemesis, for Bloody Bones has emerged, poised to abduct a maiden to be his mistress. So goes his song. You will need to revive Ferrara after the battle. I can only assume Hallam would not have sent you unprepared for this task. Go to Ferrara, and quickly. When the two of you finish, I will await you at the House of Ballads in the north. Do be careful, Sagril. Uduath is northwest, on the shores of Ettenmere. It is sealed by a powerful spell, but Bloody's magic is weak, and you should be able to gain entrance. It is a ballad of obsession and sacrifice, one of the summer's oldest. Bloody Bones was not always as a terror. No, he was once called Faemor, a counselor to Isa himself. Sadly, he was driven by lust, and by his need to possess whatever he desired. Taking Lord Issa's lover, he fled with her to his hollow of Uduath. When the maiden was rescued, Issa cursed Famor. He could not die, and his soul would never enter the Great Cycle. He became an abomination, known only as Bloody Bones. Every few seasons, Bloody would emerge and steal away a maiden to make his bride. That is, until he took the beloved of Sir Ferrara. He is one who prefers action to discussion. A tempestuous firebrand who would rather pursue the mortal flesh than any other of life's mysteries. That is why his ballad is such a stirring one. Ferrara will always be the lovable rogue who finally chooses another over himself. Timeless is what it is. There is no need to kneel. Honestly, I wish I could do away with all this king nonsense altogether. The tragedy we face, it is not legend. It is real. It is now. Yes, I am the acting Wenson. But the true king has been gone for many seasons. I am the 5th such fae to hold the title. And at times like this, I wish I did not. It is an amulet, worn by all King Wensons in the telling. I wear it, as have all the kings who rose and fell at the mercy of the seasons. Only he who wears the king's token is worthy of walking in Wenson's stead, of singing the most important songs of the summer court. Like all other fae in the Western lands, I am a subject of the Court of Summer, our wise council of elders. They are responsible for the well-being of our kind. We are legendary champions of the telling, brought together for the purpose of ensuring summer court glory for seasons to come. Few know the truth of the House of Ballads, that we are not the actual heroes of myth. Those knights have gone, passing into the cycle, or moving on to nobler adventures. However, it is our wish for the great songs to endure, that seasons of fae would sing them before the fires. True power is in returning to what matters. So the House of Ballads was established, and worthy warriors were found to act in the roles of Wenson, Bellmaid, and the others. To tell these tales is a great honor. I do not speak of magic with a knowing tongue, but I do know that the persistence of fae songs is eternally linked to the enchanted lore stones in which they exist. When mortals began to use magic to create, change, and even destroy their own lore stones, it was decided that the ballads of the Summer Court needed better protection. The cairns are a new kind of lore stone, Hallam's way of keeping outside influence from affecting our stories, from corrupting them as the days pass and seasons transpire. Good luck.
May the stone sing your song to the ages. May the breath of time remember you. Listen. Listen as the echo stone etches each ballad in memory. And Fominir, the name alone cools the drops to ice, mutes the scream to a whisper. And Fominir. It came from beyond the sea, tearing through the veil as one tears at a warm belly for a meal, hungry and sensing the pulsing blood underneath, smelling the prey. It was Ferrara who met the beast, who raised his blade to the sky and sent the Horinox into a tunnel of fire, back to the other side, back to the brink of elsewhere. And Fominir rested, waiting for the day when it would return. For as long as there were kingdoms to conquer and chaos to sow, its gaze would be upon us.
It's good you're here. I was beginning to think you were just something I saw in the bottle. Welcome to the ruins of Delok. Because for some reason, you can change fate. In here, I can get a glimpse of the whole of the weave, and see where you should fit in. Yes, it doesn't look like much, but in these ruins lies the Theater of Fate, the ancient home of the Fate Weavers. Come with me. No telling what we'll find down there. It's the ruins of the Theater of Fate. This is where the first Fate Weavers learned how to read the weave. They left their wisdom behind in the Destiny Stone. I'm hoping that the stone will tell me who you are. The Theater of Fate was once an Irathi stronghold. Mortals and immortals worked together to build a site of understanding. Since then, it's been lost, rediscovered, and abandoned all over again. Mortals can't stand the knowledge, and immortals simply don't care. Why, they're practically... The Theater of Fate was once an Irathi. Since then, it's been lost, rediscovered, and abandoned all over again. In we go.
So simply Famor, so formidably bloody Bones. Once companion to Issa, now enemy to the court. Once lover of Era, then bringer of death. Now forever in decay, forever cursed, never to enter the great cycle, forever alone.
Ever since this place was abandoned, strange beasts have moved in. Stay close. Keep quiet. They aren't... This place has been abandoned for so long that some Fate Weavers think it's just a legend. Stay close. The theater can show us the whole tapestry of fate laid bare. We can do nothing to change it or prevent its horrors. Well, most of us can't.
After all those years of hiding in a bottle, it's good to see some action again. If only one last time.
We're almost there. Or at least as far as I can take you. seen this. This moment. I'm sorry, my friend. This is as far as I can take you. I'm still alive. He was supposed to... Do you have any idea what you've done? What sort of power you're playing with? You absorbed everything he was, everything he would do. You changed the weave of destiny itself. Because of you, there are deeds he won't do. Children of his that won't be born. Victims that won't die when they were supposed to. Yes, I'm aware. But there's still no telling what damage you could do if you aren't careful. You're much more dangerous than I thought. We need to get you to the Theater of Fate right away. Theater of Fate. I never thought I'd see it. We Fate Weavers never fully understood the power of this place. Seems there's a lot we don't understand. Stone? Gods, I should have brought another bottle. No surprise that Niskaru found its way to this place of power. Everything about these ruins is dedicated to this room, and at the center of it all is the Destiny Stone. With it, the Fae taught the Fate Weavers the answers to the deepest mysteries of fate. Put your hands on the stone, and maybe we can find answers to your own mysteries. Just put your hand on the Destiny Stone. It'll show me where you fit into the tapestry of fate. The Niskaru are hideous creatures of chaos and corruption. They hated the Arathi, but unlike them, the Niskaru still stalk our world. Thankfully, they've mostly been driven back from the Feylands, but you still find a few lurking deep underground. This temple was built by the Arathi, and it's been here as long as recorded history. But the Destiny Stone was made by the first Fate Weavers. The legends say that they drew on ageless wisdom to build the stone. But with our order so scattered now, it hasn't been used in years. The Destiny Stone came apart at your touch, and all around you the tapestry of fate, unweaving itself. And there at the core was the Codex of Destiny, the wisdom that the Fae used to help the first Fate Weavers understand the nature of the weave. Don't you see what this means? Yes, it is. And from what I can tell, you're the one changing it. With every breath, you're changing how lives begin and end. The way the Codex of Destiny came to you out of the stone. That's got to mean something, too. But I'll be damned if I can read this thing. As dangerous as an open flame. You could help people or destroy them entirely. When you get involved, there's no grand cosmic plan. Only freedom and all the dangers that come with it. And that means I owe you, Wait. What's that?
Purge the abomination! In the name of Gadflaw!
Now this looks like some fun.
Who are you? How do we know you're not working with the Tuatha?
I don't care if you trust me. I'm much more interested in your friend here. I'm beginning to think that these Tuatha don't like you. Now why do you think that might be? After all, someone who can change the fate of the world, who wouldn't want you? I'm not sure, but they're very well informed about your location. They came straight here from Didenhill, but they're not nearly as interesting as you. Especially now that they're dead. Now it's my turn. Why are you here? Ha! Knowing the future is for fools. Who reads the end of a book before it's time? Save your attention for the present. Like that codex you found? Our scholars thought those were all gone from the world. But you're just full of surprises. Good luck understanding it. That's Fey knowledge. They don't even have a written language. The stone is simply embedded with what they know, unseeable to mortals. Why worry about the little fish when deeper waters hold the more interesting secrets? There's more to this than you understand. I don't have the answers for you, but I know someone who might. When you're ready, meet me at the House of Ballads. I'm sure the Fae would love to meet you. Be on your way.
We can't trust her. Never met a Docklefar who'd give me a straight answer, even with a sword at their throat. Present company accepted, of course. But she wasn't wrong about that codex. Just be careful doing anything she suggests. Meanwhile, we can't just ignore the Tuatha that are tracking you. We need to do something about them. She said they came through Didenhill, didn't she? They don't belong in these lands, so they probably left a trail wide as an Eden's backside. Meet me there, and we'll track them down. Maybe we... how they can find you so easily. I've got some final rites to perform before I leave this place. Good luck. I've got a lot of prayers to say before I leave here again.
mountain of tasks for us if we're to rebuild. But I can always spare a moment for you. Well.
We've still a long ways ahead. Now, what is it that I can do? For you. Beware the forest.
There's roof beams to cut, thatch and wattle to collect, and daub to form. We'll need more rope, more pulleys, and more than a fair bit of luck. I'm sorry, stranger. It seems I'm the man to get this village rebuilt. I have to get the next few months of work straightened out. Stay alert.
You found it after all. For Imelda's sake, I'm glad you didn't leave it with that monster. I have a few coins left to my name, and you can take them. And the bed's free for your use whenever you care for it. I'm glad you stopped by for it's these damn etching. My whole life I've never had much cause for trouble. They've been a real bother of late. Even stole from my dear Imelda. You might rest a little easier now, thanks to your help in getting back her grave charm. Thank you, stranger.
These are Shine and Shadow? I was sent to recover artifacts of importance, not simple weapons. The Templars are going to think me a fool. How am I to return to them with these? When I return to Odessa, all they will see is how much I lost for how little I recovered. But I suppose that you are right. Perhaps there might be some hidden value to these after all. Thank you for your help. I'm off to Odessa to bring them the sad news of the expedition. Their impudence seems tied to if someone had a head on their shoulders and my business is done here. I'm getting out of this horrible place and traveling back to Odessa. I had expected that they might be something like a miniature sun, a battery which held an intense magical reservoir. The Scholia Arcana had theorized about these kinds of objects, but I hoped the gnomes might have discovered them first.